Tonight, the whole town will stand together under a long ribbon of Candlelight Vigil from 7 to 7:30 p.m. at the Stellarton RCMP detachment to honor Jack's 5th birthday and stand in hope with everyone praying for him and Lilly. I, Agent Tim, will also be there myself, standing among mothers, fathers, neighbors, and people who have never met but who share one heartbeat of hope. Because today is the day little Jack turns 5. And though he and his sister Lilly have been missing since that quiet morning in May, tonight we will not mark the day with defeat, but with a louder voice of faith, a brighter light, and a promise that we will not stop until they are safe. Right now, before anything else, I need you to do 3 simple things while you listen. Drop the town or city you're watching from in the comments so we can see how far this love spreads. Type a short prayer for Jack and Lilly so we can fill the comments with words of protection and faith. And drop a cake emoji or write "Happy Birthday, Jack," so the birthday song can travel across the internet like a current of light. Because every candle, prayer, and emoji joins a chorus that might one day reach them. I'm asking you to like, share, and subscribe to Agent Tim right now so this video gets pushed out to people who can help. And please share it with family, friends, and every group you belong to, because sometimes the smallest share leads to the biggest answer. So wherever you are, pause with me and say, "We are with you, Jack," and mean it. When I first learned about Jack and Lilly, I drove to the place their family still calls home, and I saw what everyone here already knows. The little boots by the door, the tiny jacket on the hook, the drawings taped to a kitchen wall that still speak of normal childhood things like blue dinosaurs and playgrounds, and the hollow space those small things left when the children did not come home. That morning in May changed everything for one family and for this whole community, because you never expect the ordinary to be interrupted that way. You never expect a quiet morning to become the center of a search people will carry in their hearts. But here we are, months later, and love has not closed its doors. I have walked the streets, talked to the neighbors, read the notes pinned to bulletin boards, and I have met the mother who keeps her child's favorite sweater folded on the arm of her chair as if he might come back and pull it on. And I have seen the grandmother who leaves the porch light on every night, hoping it will guide home small lost feet. And I have watched the stepfather walk the road at dusk, whispering names into the wind. And when I put all those pieces together, what I feel most is a human truth. People who love do not give up. Tonight's vigil is a promise made visible. Candles will be placed in a long line, faces will glow in the flame, and the sound of us calling their names will fill the sky. Because names are anchors. By saying them loudly, we refuse to let memory slide into silence. I want to be clear and simple with you. Jack would be 5 today. That number matters. It is not just a fact, it is a reason to gather, to remind the world that even as time passes, love stacks up like bricks until a doorway opens. And so if you are watching this video, please join us in voice and in prayer. Type the place you are watching from, say a short prayer for their safe return, write "Happy Birthday, Jack," and drop the cake emoji. And if you can, come to the vigil so your candle can stand beside ours. When you post your location, it helps show the family and the community that this story is not small. People everywhere care. And that kind of attention matters because someone out there might be the one to change everything. As I stand here and prepare to join the candle circle, I remember the early days of the search. The flashlights sweeping the woods, volunteer teams calling names into the dark, detectives following every lead, and the slow, stubborn work of piecing together timelines and talking to anyone who might help. And I also remember the quieter hours when the mother sits alone with a photograph and breathes his name like a prayer. That vulnerability has taught me something crucial. Investigation is not only about facts and files, it is about the human pulse that keeps a story alive. And tonight we match that pulse with thousands of small lights. I know you want the truth, and you want answers, and so do I. But tonight, I ask that our search also be full of celebration, simple celebration, the kind that a 5-year-old deserves. A shared song, a cake imagined in our words, and a chorus of strangers telling a child he is loved. When we celebrate like that, we do two things at once. We refuse to let darkness have the final say, and we keep the memory of those children warm in the world's heart until the day they return. If you're here with me now, I want you to picture the vigil. A soft line of candles, people wrapped in coats, small groups holding hands, children with homemade signs that say, "Bring them home," and the board with photos of the little faces smiling back at us. Jack picture with a little missing tooth smile, Lilly clutching a stuffed toy. And beneath those photos, notes written by school friends. "We miss you. Come back soon. We love you." And I promise you, seeing those notes is like feeling a whole town reach out to clasp hands. Because this is not a private sadness. It is a shared responsibility. And tonight we take it seriously by showing up. I will walk among these people. I will put my candle down close to theirs, and I will speak into the night for every parent who dreams of a knock at the door. My voice will carry their names and their prayers, and as I speak, I will remind you to keep this story moving. Share this video, text it to someone in another town, paste it in your community groups, because attention is the lifeblood of missing persons work, and when attention is strong, leads come forward. Now, I want to ask you to do something specific and simple. Right now, look to the person beside you, or if you are alone, look to the screen, and in a sentence, type where you are watching from and one short prayer. From your city, praying for Jack and Lilly. Bring them home. That small message will flood the comments and show families like theirs that the whole world is watching and praying and not letting go. As the night deepens, we will sing 2 songs, a birthday song for Jack and a quiet hymn of hope. And the hum of those voices will be strong enough to carry across fields and roads, because even in the darkest moments, human voices create a net of love that can catch what would otherwise be lost. Earlier today, I walked to the edge of the old playground where they used to play, and I sat on a swing thinking about what a 5-year-old's day should look like, running, shouting, a cake with sparkly candles, and it hurt to imagine how quiet that place has been. But it also steeled me, because if imagining joy makes me ache, then imagining rescue makes me move. And that is what this vigil is about, moving everyone to action through love. I have been part of many searches, and what stands out is this: details matter, and people matter. And you are one of those people. So please listen carefully when I say this. If you have seen anything unusual, a car parked where it shouldn't have been, someone on foot at odd hours, a discarded toy, a blanket, a conversation you overheard, call the local hotline, send a direct message to the investigative team, or tip anonymously to the authorities, because sometimes a single detail is the thread that unravels the whole mystery. And if you do not have a direct lead, you still have power. Your likes, your shares, your prayers, your physical presence at this vigil sends a message that the community will not stop and will not forget. I know some of you will ask why we hold a candlelight vigil when there's a police investigation going on, and I want to answer that plainly. Vigils do not replace law enforcement. They complement it. They keep the public's focus. They remind people that this is a living, breathing concern. And they often stir someone who knows something to finally come forward. So do not underestimate the power of tonight's light to move the case forward. As the candles flicker and we call their names, I invite you to speak a short prayer aloud where you are. Nothing long, nothing formal, just from the heart. God, keep Jack and Lilly safe. Bring them home. Or whatever words you carry, because there is strength in collective prayer. And even if you do not share a faith, your intention joins the larger human will to protect the innocent. In the next moments, I will remind you again to write in the comments where you are from and to drop a cake emoji. And I will ask you to press like and share. Little acts with big echoes. Imagine a map lighting up with pins from all over the country and the world. Each pin a person who cares. That map becomes evidence of public attention, and public attention keeps investigations alive. So tonight, your keyboard is as powerful as a searchlight. I want to tell you a quiet story that happened during one of the early search days. A neighbor discovered a small blue ribbon snagged on a bush near the path, and it turned into a lead when someone recognized it from a donated toy box. It was such a small thing, almost meaningless on its own, but because someone cared enough to report it, investigators had one more piece of the puzzle. And that's the lesson. Small things count. And when you spread this story, you increase the chance someone will recall the small thing that matters. Now, please, in the comments, tell us your location, write "Happy Birthday, Jack," and drop a cake. I want the comment thread to look like a map of love. And as those messages fill in, I will be watching them tonight with the family so they can see how many people are standing with them. I will also be reading these messages out loud during the vigil so the mother, the grandmother, and the stepfather can hear where the support is coming from. Your words will reach them not just through the screen, but through our voices at the vigil, and that is very powerful. I know this is heavy, but I also know this. Hope grows when it is shared, and that is why we gather. We do not gather to mourn a story's end, we gather to keep the story alive. Let me be direct with a few ways you can help tonight. 1. Share this video to your social media and neighborhood groups. 2. Post your town or city in comments so we can show the family how far the prayers reach. 3. If you live nearby, come down to the location shown in your graphic and stand in the line with us. Bring a candle, bring quiet strength, stand as a witness to love. 4. If you see something that might be a clue, call the investigation hotline immediately and don't assume someone else is called. Your call could be the one that changes everything. After tonight, we will continue to follow every lead, but tonight is special because it is a birthday, and birthdays are moments when communities gather to say, "You are not forgotten," and we will say that loudly. I will walk through the crowd at the vigil. I will speak to those gathered. I will take some of your comments and prayers and read them aloud so the family can feel the reach of this moment. And when I speak, it will be with the voice of someone who refuses to let silence win. If you cannot attend, your presence here in the comments is just as real. Post a short prayer, post where you are watching from, and drop a cake emoji so our thread stays full of light. As the night stretches and people begin to sing and share memories, I will remind them, and remind you again, to keep their eyes open for the small details. Cars with a dent on the passenger side that appeared in May, a license plate seen that morning, someone carrying a large package to a car, anything at all. No detail is irrelevant. Let's make the comments a working map. When people from different towns write in, we can see patterns and pass them along. And someone watching might say, "I remember seeing that car," or "I know that person," and suddenly the map becomes a trail. I know many of you are tired of tragedy. I know the news feels heavy. I know your day is full. But if you can spare 2 minutes to type your city and a short prayer, you're changing the world for this family. In the long history of missing children cases, public attention has been the difference between a cold file and a reopened lead. And tonight, with your help, we keep hope alive. I'm going to say this plainly because I want you to feel the gravity and the power of your actions. When you like, share, and subscribe to Agent Tim, this story reaches hundreds more people who might be in the right place at the right time to help. Your like is not a meaningless click. It is part of a chain reaction that brings eyes, ears, and hearts to a case that cannot be left alone. If you are at the vigil tonight, come find me, Agent Tim, and I will stand with you. If you cannot be here, stand with us online and let your comment be a candle of its own. And now, as the sky grows darker and the candlelight grows brighter, take a moment to whisper a wish out loud for Jack. Simple words are enough. Be safe, come home, and then type that same wish so we can gather it into a single unstoppable prayer. I will finish by promising you this. I will not stop, the family will not stop, and this community will not stop until Jack and Lilly are home. Tonight, we celebrate Jack's 5th birthday with candles, with song, and with action. And I ask you to be part of it with everything you can give: your voice, your share, your prayer, and your presence. Now, right where you are watching from, drop a cake and say a short prayer for their safe return, because tonight, our words and lights are one bridge of hope that stretches across the world, and in the morning, we will keep walking that bridge together. Like, share, and subscribe to Agent Tim. Let's keep the story alive until Jack and Lilly come home, because hope is stronger than fear, and when enough people refuse to forget, miracles find a way.